Thanks for tuning in to GC Wired. I'm Chris Andrews.
And I'm Jackie Bostic. At GC Wired, we're committed to give you what you need to know on campus.
And in the community. Students are waiting in long lines to sign up for classes. Registration began this week for spring semesters A, B, and C. Go to the admissions office anytime this week to talk to a campus advisor about your next semester classes. But if you are a returning student, you can always register online through OASIS. Go to gulfcoast.edu and click OASIS under the current students table. From there, you can scroll down and click registration. You will need a PIN number to access this.
The Student Government Association meetings have changed to a bi-weekly format. The next meeting will be held Tuesday, November 15th at 12:45 p.m. in the Board of Trustees room, Student Union West.
The visual and performing arts students will premiere Alice's Adventures in Wonderland this weekend. GC Wired was given a backstage pass to talk to some of the actors and director of this out-of-this-world production.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is basically about this little girl who's getting her picture done, and her painter goes in through this portrait of hers, and she ends up going in after him, and she just discovers this magical wonderland of like different characters. They're all different kinds of characters, are all eccentric.
I'm playing the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit, he's just, he's the White Rabbit. He always just runs on stage and off stage and screams and is very nervous and is very late. But I love playing him because he's so energetic.
I play two different characters. I play the Mock Turtle and the Duchess. The Mock Turtle cries a lot for no reason. He's kind of like a female teenager.
This has been one of the most enjoyable productions I have ever directed because everyone was ready the first day of rehearsals. They knew their lines the first day of rehearsals. The crew is amazing. They are working so hard to make sure that this production is the best that it can be. The set is wonderful. It's very intricate. It's very complicated, so it's taking a little longer to get it done. We will have it ready when it opens.
Oh, this cast and crew is fabulous. I couldn't ask to work with better people.
It's very fun to watch. It's very energetic. Children will like it because it is fast-paced. There are a lot of big, bold characters, almost like cartoon characters.
And if you want to have a good time, this is the show to go see.
No matter what age, it's kind of like Disneyland. No matter what age, anyone can come and see this and relate to it.
If you missed the opening weekend of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, don't worry. You can always see the show this Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. or Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 2:30 p.m. The tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for children. But remember, it is free if you show your Gulf Coast State College student ID.
To find out more about shows around Gulf Coast and Panama City, we head over to Josh at our entertainment desk.
The Visual and Performing Arts announces auditions for the world premiere stage adaptation of Michael Lisner's The Big Goodbye, the stylish, retro crime drama set in 1943 Panama City. The auditions will be held Monday, November 14th at 6:30 p.m. in the Amelia Tapper Center Theater. They are open to adult actors of all ages, including students and non-students. Also, if you have kids, take them to see Sesame Street Live. You can see it November 22nd and 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Marina Civic Center. There is also one daytime show on Wednesday, the 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Tickets start at $13. It's well worth it if you're a child, or maybe even if you have a brother or a sister, or if you yourself love Sesame Street and love the characters like Elmo, Big Bird, and Cookie Monster. Back to you, guys.
Don't forget your spoon. Next Thursday, the Visual and Performing Arts students are hosting their Empty Bowls fundraiser this Thursday, November 17th from 12 to 2 p.m. in the Student Union East cafeteria. The fundraisers raises awareness of the issue of hunger both locally and around the world. The cost is $10 for a lunch and a bowl that you get to keep. Here's the bowl right here from last year. All proceeds will go to the United Way and the Panama City Rescue Mission.
Take a break before class and play some video games. That's the purpose behind the Players in the Pit Club, a new club that arrived on GCSE this fall semester. They will host a video game tournament on November 16th at 9 a.m. in the Student Union East. The featured game is Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Come out of your shell this November 16th. The Earth Science and Culture Club is hosting a Turtle Talk with guest speaker Kennard Watson from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Student Union East. It's in room 232A. Watson will talk about the loggerhead turtles that nest on our wonderful beaches, learn about the issues facing them and their eggs, and what you can do to help them out.
In this week's Sports Center, we had GC Wired reporter Michael Martin talk to Rooney Scoville.
Coach Rooney Scoville is the coach of the women's basketball team. Here's what she has to say about the upcoming season.
Coach, I just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I was doing some reading on the Gulf Coast State College's athletics website, and I noticed that overall from the athletics department, we had several sophomores graduate and continue on with different paths. How did that affect our women's basketball team?
Well, we lost a lot from last year, but we brought in a whole new group, a lot of new freshmen, some transfers, and we have a few from last year that have carried over, but only one that had any significant minutes in last year's program.
All right, so what are we doing, or what are you doing with the team trying to prepare them for our season, and are we still in a scrimmage time frame, or has our season already got underway?
Well, just for the first question, we started conditioning back when we started school, so we've lifted weights, we've run, we've done sprint work, we've done all those things to get ready to be able to have fun playing, get in shape, and then, you know, when October 1 hit, that was the official practice, so we've gone real hard on getting ready to play games, get prepared to play under pressure, and, you know, turn the lights on and get the officials out there, so we've worked really, really hard, and then we've had a few scrimmages, but last weekend we started our very first game. We had our regular season start up on Saturday, and we played Faith Baptist Academy and had a big win. Everybody got to play, and this weekend we go to Mariana, and we play 3 games in 4 days, so I think that's going to be a challenge to kind of see what we're made of this weekend.
Sounds like that's going to be a really tough time frame. So when is going to be our first home game for our women's team?
November 18th, we'll play Bishop State, and then we'll play Vincennes on the next day. So we have two games at home, but we'll be at November 18th is our first game.
So is there any one particular player or players that really stand out who you think is going to be a huge impact for our team?
Well, in the early games and scrimmages and play in our first game, probably our big 3 in production have been Kiara Gillespie. She's our point guard. She's a transfer from Clemson, has a lot of experience, played in the ACC, so she brings a lot of experience and strength and quickness. And then we have Uju Ugoka, who transferred in from Grayson, Texas last year. And so she is a tremendous power forward. So she's had a lot of production here early on. And then probably Brittany McLeod, our lone significant player from last year, has been very productive in this early opening. So those 3 are the ones that produced the most. We have not a lot of nice players, but those 3 have produced the most. And that's probably who we're depending on the most right now while we are trying to get better.
All right. So November 18th is going to be the first really home game. What can the student body, what can our community do to really show and help support our team?
Well, our community, number one, has always embraced us and shown support and been right there for us through good times and bad times. Even last year, one of the worst seasons in the history of our program, and they still are right there. They still embrace us. So hopefully we can redeem ourselves. You know, besides coming and being there and cheering us on and helping us through, you know, the good moments out there and the bad moments out there, they're kind of our 6th man. You know, the fans are our 6th man. They help us, and so I'm excited about that. I love our community, and then our students, you know, to get more involved, to come to more games and on campus, embrace us, you know, help us if there's something in the classroom, support us, motivate us, correct us, guide us if we see something that maybe we shouldn't be doing in the classroom or in the cafeteria or around campus, then help us prevent. Sometimes that's a good thing, is prevention. So maybe the students can help us in that way. Tutoring, if anybody is interested in tutoring, that's always a good way. So there's a lot of ways students could get involved.
All right. So November 18th is going to be one of our home games for our women's basketball team. So let's get out there. Let's help support our team. Let's show them that we do care about them. Let's get out there and be the 6th person on the court. So, Coach, I just want to say thank you for coming out and being on our show today.
Thank you.
And from GC Wired, I'm Michael Martin.
Go around the world in a day without going out of state. The Festival of Nations will let you experience the diversity of culture around the world. Downtown Panama City will be transformed for the 2-day event with various vendors, music, food, and crafts from the different parts of the globe. The event runs Saturday, November 12th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday, November 13th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Coming up next,
the smoking hot topic of the smoking ban last week attracted many of you to our online Facebook poll. The results of that are in. See what sides students are taking and whether to keep or remove the policy.
And later we'll also present this week's issue. It's on the topic of recycling. We also have information on the Millville Christmas Parade. All that and much, much more coming up next after the break. I finally got my Googles out that time around.
Alright guys, we need to think of an idea for a promo for Spike Suit Productions. Does anyone have any ideas?
Right. Support promoting spring break.
I have an idea.
What is your idea?
Well, why don't we have a scene that takes place on a beautiful mountain with little rabbits jumping around, and we start getting hungry, so we take machetes and we start stabbing the rabbits, and blood just starts pouring down the mountain, and it forms around this little village, and everyone's screaming in pain and sorrow for the blood that's...
Welcome back. I'm Jackie Bostic.
And I'm Chris Andrews. Thanks for staying tuned to GC Wired, your hub of campus and community events.
Last week, we mentioned the new smoking ban coming to Gulf Coast in January. We also asked you to voice your opinion on our online poll. Here are the results. 68% of the people who voted were in favor of the smoking ban, while 30% who voted were not in favor of the smoking ban, and 2% were still undecided. Thanks to everyone who voted. Recycling has always been a big issue around campus. The campus has placed recycling bins for bottles in the cafeteria, but some students think that is not enough. Recycling is also the topic of this week's issue and debate. This week, we asked many students if they felt like Gulf Coast is doing too much or too little about recycling. Here's what you have to say.
I don't think they're doing a lot. I don't see any recycling bins out here, and I feel like if we had more, then it would lead to more people wanting to recycle. If you get up and you see the trash can right there, you're more likely to go over there and put it in there rather than going to look for just a regular trash can. It makes you want to do it, and there's none out here whatsoever. Maybe a couple in the cafeteria, but that's about it.
Well, I usually only see them inside buildings, and they're usually in obscure places. They could probably do more, but maybe put a couple outside just for the people who smoke and stuff like that. But I know it's becoming a smoke-free campus, so it's probably just a waste of money. But no, I think they're doing I really do. I think they're doing a fine job.
Voice your opinion. Like our GC Wired Facebook page and vote in our online poll. The results will be announced during next week's show.
The newest video game club, Players in the Pit, or just Pit for short with 2 T's, is the newest club here at Gulf Coast. They started up this fall semester, and this week's Club Corner, we had Ray Schofield talk to 2 members about their upcoming events and plans.
Nice to have you guys here with us. Now, what exactly is the Pit?
The Pit is like a club that is more like chess, but we have hand-to-eye coordination, to where it's more of a competitive play, or either that you wanted to have fun. And basically, we're just there to show our execution, or pretty much our good skills and judgment on how we're playing the game right.
All right.
Just to specify, he says it's like chess. We're not actually playing chess. We do play video games. We play all types of video games. Sometimes we've got Marvel vs. Capcom going on. Sometimes we've got Street Fighter. We've had some Smash Brothers going on. Last week we had some Mario Party going on. Old school Soul Calibur, all kind of things. Anything that'll give people a way to let off some steam during class or between classes, during finals, things like that to help them out so they can do what they need to do.
All right, and when do you guys meet?
We usually have the Pit open from like at least 8 till probably 8 at night sometimes.
Yeah, and you
basically
guys
every day.
Yeah, every day.
So we're the most active club on campus, but don't tell anybody else.
All right, I won't. So you guys have a
competition coming up. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yes, there's a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament. It is going to be held on November 16th or Wednesday. We will have from 9 to 11 the warm-ups, and we'll start the series tournament at 11. And pretty much the rules are like any other fighting game rules. The registration fee is $2. Character lock, be respectful towards other players. No jumping in front of the screen. Don't try to pause during the middle of a combo or during the match. And other things also that we will explain there. And the reward is for the top 2 characters. We will be having a surprise for them. They're at the tournament at the end of it and after the tournament, starting next semester.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, who's your guys' favorite team that you would use for Marvel vs. Capcom?
Michael, go ahead and tell me your team first.
My team is that Logan Wolverine, followed by Captain America with the Punisher costume. And then I got Akuma as my anchor. That way I can just tattoo my way through it all.
All right. Do you have one?
Yes, my favorite team is Amaterasu, which is a dog that is very unique in the game. One of the very few characters that walk on more than 2 legs. I have the very comical Deadpool as the joke but still serious character.
Yeah, he'd be one of my characters.
I have the Iron Giant Sentinel.
All right. Sounds awesome.
Yes.
All right. And this is going to be when again?
This is going to be November 16th, Wednesday. That's when the tournament's going to be held. Also, I'd like to say that we will be having some special guests and also some board members playing. And there's been a rumor floating around that Lori Cannon will be playing. Also, we might have a faculty member play, but we're just going to keep that down on the low for now.
Yeah, I heard about Lori Cannon in the SGA meeting. That sounds like fun.
Yes, it is, but I hope she will make it and possibly win.
Thank you, Ray. If you want to promote your club through our program, post on our GC Wired News Facebook page or email us at mygcwired@gmail.com.
Coming up, Halloween just passed, but Christmas is around the corner. We have information on the Millville Christmas Parade.
And that's all coming up next. Your world,
Your news, your campus.
your news. I'm Chris Andrews.
And I'm Jackie Bostic.
GC Wired is a new program coming to Gulf Coast TV and online.
It's fun, it's entertaining.
And it's for you, behind the camera, it's for you.
Join us. We're covering the life that is Gulf Coast State College and the community it surrounds.
Join us weekly, GC Wired, your hub for both community and campus events.
I gotta stop doing this with paper.
Welcome back to GC Wired News.
This week we had reporter Ray Schofield talk to Fran Markham for the Millville Christmas Parade.
All right. And it's my understanding that you guys are going to be doing a Christmas parade that Spike Soup is actually going to be able to film this year. Would you like to tell us a little bit of the history behind it?
Sure, I would be glad to. This is the 11th annual Christmas parade. It's the Millville Community Alliance sponsored in conjunction with the CRA, the Panama City CRA. This parade was actually birthed 11 years ago by Mary Sue Bowles, who is a local teacher. Mary Sue worked at Millville School, and the first parade I ever remember attending, the kids actually had little carts from the store decorated, and that began the Millville Christmas Parade, and from that time we've come to be about a 90-unit parade.
Oh, wow, that's cute. All right, so what other things would you, what other events do you have coming up?
Oh gosh, right now we have so many, it's hard to even explain to you in this little bit of time. November the 12th, we have our annual disc golf tournament, which is in Joe Moody Harris Park. You can call for more information, 872-3010. Then December the 2nd, we have our park dedication of our brand new park in Millville. It is the Millville Waterfront Park. It's located right on Watson Bayou. Many people know it as the old Tico Gas Property Park. It's a gorgeous park. Right now it's kind of empty, has a few posts on it, lamp posts, where we're going to have it decorated real nicely for Christmas. We're looking forward to that. We're also that night going to have a park dedication with our commissioners, and we're also having concerts in the park. We hope this is our first annual concerts in the park.
All right, and you guys are going to be having a lot of Christmas music then?
Sure, a lot of Christmas music. This year we have the Sweet Adelines, whom I understand are practicing and getting ready for a great production. We also have Larry Granger in New Vision. Larry is a deputy with the Bay County Sheriff's Department and very well known in this area for his music. We have Mr. Cliff Munson and Mr. Larry Mathis and their group. It's a local bluegrass group that's also very well known. We also have a local church choir, so we have a diverse group of music. I think something everyone would like.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun. I do like Christmas music, and unfortunately you wouldn't really want me singing it.
Well, also we have Santa. Santa will be there for the kids also, so you might like Santa.
I do enjoy Santa. So you told me that there's a history behind your guys' park. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this park, we began looking at this property when Tico Gas started talking about moving several years ago, and Commissioner Kathy Hanline, who was Commissioner of Millville at that time, actually had a passion for this property. You'd have to drive by it and look at it. The sunsets are absolutely gorgeous. It's located right on Watson Bayou, and Kathy, during her tenure as commissioner, saw that this park was purchased. It was purchased with the Millville Community Alliance. Well, actually, it was purchased with Millville CRA funds, and the Alliance is going to take on the task of decorating the park and filling it full of gorgeous flowers and making it just a pretty place for our people in Millville and also everyone else. Right now we have plans that have already been laid, and I understand they're going to start breaking ground very shortly for a 250-foot fishing pier on this property. Will be really a nice asset.
Yeah, my dad will enjoy that. I've actually not been able to see the park yet, but I'm going to make it over there sometime. All right, so if anyone would like to help volunteer for anything, especially with the Christmas Day Parade, who would they be able to contact for that?
They could contact me at the City of Panama City. They can call me at 872-3010 or email fmarkham, M-A-R-K-H-A-M, at PC, as in Panama City, gov.org. And we do need volunteers. Last year we had a group from Gulf Coast that came out and helped us. We have over 90 units in this parade, and getting them all together is quite a task, so we can use any help. And I would like to tell you the parade starts sharp at 9:30 at the waterfront park that we were just talking about at the corner of 3rd Street and Maple Avenue in Millville. It will go directly 3rd Street all the way to Daffin Park, which is about a 7 or 8 block span. Let me tell you a little bit about the groups that come and how we get those children there. We have probably 15, 18 schools from Bay County that are represented at this parade, anywhere from Waller Elementary to Beach. We have 10 or 11 local bands that participate, march the whole route, and then we have local daycares, we have the Shriners, we have some of the Mardi Gras floats. It's just a really good really good parade based solely on making children happy. That's what it's all about.
Oh, that sounds really nice. Well, we are happy to be able to do this with you guys this year, and we'll talk about it, try and get the word out for volunteers for the parade, just to help you guys out. And thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Ray. I'm already excited for Christmas, too. Have you seen the Millville Christmas Parade before, Jackie?
No, I have not. This is my first year.
Oh, well, it's actually lots of fun. There's Santa Claus is making a surprise visit there, too.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, too, because I'm always a kid at heart.
Of course.
And I think that's all the time we have today.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I'm Chris Andrews.
And I'm Jackie Bostic.
For GC Wired, have a great week. Finally got those giggles out, didn't we?
Yeah. Whew.